This is a TalkStation original podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Paper Boys podcast. I'm JJ Smith.
I'm Zack Nally.
We are doing our annual high school basketball previews.
Oops.
And we've got East Carteret boys basketball coach Daniel Griffee joining us. Thanks for joining us, Coach.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Well, we're doing this before anybody has seen the Mariners, including yourself. You haven't seen them under the bright lights of a Tuesday night or a Friday night, but I'm assuming you know them, still know them better than anybody. So when they do get under the bright lights, what do you think they're going to look like?
Well, we're very young, so the inexperience of high school varsity basketball is going to be fresh and new to them. We got West Carteret tomorrow night at West Carteret, which is always rowdy, and that's always an eye-opener to the middle school kids, even though if they've been to the games, playing in and playing in front of your friends and all the people yelling and chanting and the struggles of referees and everything else. It's going to be welcome very early. But we had a scrimmage, inter-squad scrimmage the other night, and when they get out there and don't think and just play, it's basketball, what it comes down to. It doesn't matter if you're a ninth grader or senior. It comes out, it's just basketball.
Yeah. We got a pretty good group back. Three seniors, Lucas Starn, Luke McIntosh, Miles Shelton, sophomore Chase Robertson. All those guys were in the rotation last year.
Yeah, Miles will not be there. He told me he has hip surgery.
That's right. You told me that was a question mark.
So he will not be there. But I think Brock Furr's going to come out, and he should have played last year.
Switch out one football player for another.
Switch out one athlete for another athlete. Luke knows the deal. Carter hopefully will be healthy this year. He lost a lot of time because he was sick, and then I think he had an appendix injury.
That's Carter Starn, right?
Carter Starn. So it'll be his first every year playing. I wish he'd played since he was a freshman, but Eli Jenkins finally came back out, and you add him in, and he is a man. I mean, he is. If you wanted a body, you want it to look like his. And he's an athlete and a good kid, works hard. So adding them with the kids that are coming from middle school, you got a little experience. You got some savviness in the middle schoolers that love it, eat it up, want to learn it, or they're ready to roll.
Yeah.
So that equation to me has the possibility that it could equal some success and hopefully a lot more than we had last year.
Speaking of the success you had last year, you had 4 wins. That was the worst record since 2009, 2010. 15 years, Daniel Griffee, when that group went 4-14.
Yeah, I think that was, I started teaching in 2005, 2006. I remember East wasn't very good back then.
Yeah.
That's the Donnie Kiefer football years. And
well, that could be a whole podcast on its own.
And then it went from there gradually rising to the top of Mount Everest, and it's kind of ebb and flowed, midways from that Mount Everest peak, and then they've always told me it always drops, and
at some point,
it dropped.
At some point, the cycle is going to cycle through, right?
Cycle through, and hopefully there's a cycle coming up.
A season when you've got that kind of youth, and you're coming off a 4-win season. Is it? Do you focus on? Obviously you're focusing on fundamentals because you got some new people out there.
It's different. So last year, I knew going into it. Last year was was the worst year of my career. I've never had a year like that. I've never been through that. I always used to ask the question, would you rather be at a place where you're expected to win and you can win, you have all these athletes, and then when you don't win it, you take it home with you? Or would you rather be like back in the day when Swansboro was not very good, and it was like, would you rather be in a place like that where low expectations and you don't have the pressures and the stuff that I went through when I was at Havelock, and then I ain't been through anything at East, but once you win 1, then you're expected to win 2, then 3, then when you get to the 5th one, like 5 in a row was like crazy. If we don't win it, it was nothing. Like you didn't achieve anything.
It was all or nothing.
Yeah, so I was like, which is better? And I despise losing. I hate losing, but I hate losing if I have the talent to win. That's what I figured out, and then. With the group I had last year, they were great kids, and they worked hard, and they listened.
One of your most enjoyable years coaching.
Yeah, I had stress-free. I never went home with it because I wanted to win.
Right.
Like, I don't want people to think I didn't want to win. We want to win, but we also didn't have unrealistic expectations to carry on something that had been carried on for 5 years and then the Billy years. And so being able to go in there and work and play and, give it was fun in itself because there was no stress and I actually enjoyed myself. I did not enjoy the losses.
Right.
Now instead of just teaching fundamentals. These kids have come in, and Keith Bernauer had them in middle school. Jackie's had a lot of these kids in his AAU program, and they've got a lot of that baseline skill that I don't have to teach, which is awesome. That's the way all varsity programs should be. You shouldn't get to varsity and have to learn how to dribble, how to pass correctly, how to shoot the correct form.
Well, and all 4 of your freshmen also participated in the Newport Basketball League this summer. Just shameless plug there real quick for the hottest new summer basketball league in town. No, all 4 of them were out there, and they, it was really amazing to go and see some of these older kids and how they performed. Clearly, the AAU, the middle school programs. I mean, a lot of them looked really polished. Especially
There wasn't
if they're in a,
the kids I had last year. There wasn't one kid that played AAU.
Gotcha.
Much less played anything besides from November to February.
Oh, wow.
Where in years past, you had Schmel and Charles, and they played 365 days a year.
Sure.
And then Benny Brooks played 365 days a year. Kyron Bowman played 365 years.
Sure.
You know, so you went from guys that played all the time to guys that just showed up, and then they're thrown into varsity. That's a different world. So now the freshmen, even though they're freshmen, their bodies show that. They have some savviness, which when I go in there, like we're working on things, and I'm not working on just this year. I'm working on what they should look like junior, senior year. Junior, senior year should be like Schmel and Charles. Here's the keys, drive the car. I'm going to ride along, and I'm going to correct you when you need to get into the other lane. You know, that's what I expect to see out of this group because they want it, they have the abilities, and they showed that. I mean, I think last year in middle school they probably could have gave us a run. The only reason that we would have beat them is we were bigger just because the body is bigger from a 18-year-old and a 14, 13-year-old.
Sure.
That's it.
Well, you mentioned last year, like teaching fundamentals. We rattled off the names of who you had coming back, and Chase Roberson is probably a baseball player.
Yeah.
Lucas Starnes is a baseball player.
Yeah.
Luke McIntosh is a football player.
Yep.
Miles Shelton is a football player.
Yep.
So you had other athletes playing basketball, kind of a thing.
Right.
Not that none of them aren't good basketball players. They also are good, but their primary sports are probably another sport.
So when I was at Havelock, they always used to say, and I remember first time you interviewed me when I was at East was, oh, you had all these athletes. Well, yeah, you might run a 4.240 or a 4.540 or bench press 300 pounds 25 times or jump out of the gym.
Versus
but if you can't put it in the hole, if you don't have any control to get down the floor in that 4.2, if you don't have any control to get the ball up, being able to bench press 300 pounds, it does you no good.
Right.
If you can run fast as hell, but if you can't take the ball with you, what good are you? And everybody, I hate this saying, well, they got 5 fouls. Well, 5 fouls equals 2 points sometimes.
Sure,
That's 10 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go foul you and do nothing for you. All I did was stop the clock and give them the ball back.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with, playing multiple sports, but obviously you favor a certain sport. But you look at someone like Swansboro and the run they went on recently. Those were basketball players.
Basketball players.
Specifically.
Basketball
A
players.
couple they may messed around here and there with other sports, but they played basketball.
Right, played basketball. When you go against basketball players,
you feel.
And I mean, Schmel and Charles, they didn't live in the weight room.
Sure.
Had they, it definitely helped them out, but
they were hoopers.
They were hoopers. They were ballers.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing I've always heard too, like Eli. We'll put 2 of them in there. Well, now you take out a faster, savvy guard that can handle the ball, and now you got 2 guys rebounding. I've seen it where I put them guys in there and the ball never bounces towards them.
Right.
So now they're taking up So now they're taking space.
Right.
And a lot of them now Eli's not like this, but a lot of them become what I call lane cloggers, where they're just standing there, and then here comes a guy driving, and they don't know to go set a screen, get out of the way, roll, and then they're just
and they want to be
right. They want to do it,
just don't know.
But here comes this kid, and he's like, oh, I'm going to stand here, and then you end up blocking your own teammates. So that's what I dealt with a lot last year, not understanding basketball. So the fact they've come in and went through a year, we'll see. I mean,
I don't think we mentioned the names.
I was going to say, you've mentioned some freshmen. Give us some names and what they're going to bring to the club.
Luke Wise is one of the best skilled set point guards I've seen. I mean, Charles Matheka is probably the best point guard I've ever had, like pure point guard, as far as smooth, being able to pass the ball, seeing the floor, making moves, understanding basketball, and being able to score. He was very tiny as a freshman. He didn't get a lot of playing time. Then he grew a ton, and his athleticism grew a ton. But Luke if you were going to teach a kid at a young age how to handle the ball, how to be low, how to dribble the ball, how to see the floor, how to look people off, that's stuff that I've never had a kid that I've on varsity that I've been welcomed like, oh, I don't have to teach you this. his form is phenomenal. Now, does that create points? I don't know. It should. So seeing him, it's really exciting because, man, he's a freshman, and what can he get to? Mason Patnod is a workhorse. The kid, you can tell he's worked a lot on his game. I don't feel like it's like Luke's kind of naturally gifted. God blessed him, and Mason was blessed with athleticism, but he has to work really hard at being a really good basketball player, and he wants to learn it. He lives it, eats it, sleeps it. I mean, he's watching film, and he's asking me questions every day, and he's wanting to know what he needs to do better every practice. And it's not that you need to do better. I'm telling him it's experience. You haven't experienced it. Once you experience it, then you can see it, and then we can do stuff. He's a freshman, and he'll just take off and drive for no reason whatsoever because the play is broken, and you can't do that now. And I want him to be able to back up and see something, or not just go shoot a shot. We don't have a shot clock. So you don't have to go in there and just shoot the ball. Don't make something out of nothing because it never works out. And he's starting to see some of that where he'll call a guy up that says screen or call a different play. But he is all about it. I haven't seen a kid like him so enthralled with basketball in a long time. I mean, Shamel and Charles were, and Benny was, but this kid, like, that's all he lives for is basketball. And that's kind of exciting. Zane Wallace is, I think, going to be probably the best athlete that comes out of that class. I think he's going to be a high flyer. He wants to learn. He's athletic, jump out of the gym. I don't think he's tapped into anything, but watching him move around is fun to watch him move around. Like, I haven't been in this place in a long time where I've been excited to see what they can get to, and it kind of rejuvenated me a little bit. Where last year I was kind of like, "Oof,
there's the potential.
I don't know if I want to go through this building process." And now these kids have kind of shown me something. It's like, man, what can they become? And Kyler Stevenson is the fourth freshman. I've never had 4 on the team. I think I had 3 because at East you can do that. Have like a 1 maybe, and I only keep them if they're gonna play.
Absolutely.
There's no point in keeping a freshman on
If
varsity.
you can keep 4 together, they grow together.
Right, and
together.
some of them are going to get a lot more playing time than others.
Sure.
But it's the thing of next year. Again, I always say I'm thinking of ahead, like chess. I'm thinking next year. This year, everybody's ready for it, but I'm thinking next year because next year, the one that don't get a lot of playing time this year, he's going to know the system. He's going to understand the positions, not just one but multiple. He's going to understand what to do first day, and then we don't have to build that. We can build on top of that, which is how you build something greater in 4 years.
Yeah, the expectations are set too.
Correct.
They understand the culture, you understand everything. Yeah.
When we walk into the gym, they understand where to go, and I don't have to tell them. And then they are directing the ones that don't know. And again, here's the keys. You drive the car. I'm just going to be in the seat correcting you if you need correction.
Sure.
And every team I've coached, and my 4 years at Havelock was like that. This is my 7th or 8th year at East, my 7th year as a head coach. Same way. The first year I had Benny and them, when I took over when Todd left, we kind of, here's the platform, this is what we're going to go. And then the next year, I mean, it was COVID, and we went 12-1, and I didn't really do anything.
Sure.
They did all of it. Shamel and Charles' year, freshman year, Benny and them taught them how to do it. And then every year that Shamel and Charles were there, they had to teach a new group coming in. And it was always like up and down, and then we kind of hit this little plateau. We'd always keep rolling. And then last year it fell to the bottom. So I'm hoping that this year is one of those that we build the base and put blocks on it each year after that.
But like you said, it's exciting to be building towards something instead of not having a polished product come your way, but like you kind of know where their ceiling is when they come in maybe.
Yeah, last year I knew. Last year we should have won 7 games.
Sure.
We tossed up 2 to Pamlico, lost 1 to Southside that we should have won. That was our 7 games. We should have won 7 games. Maybe could have squeaked the Okotoks game. They were solid, bunch of seniors. But, it's nice to know that, man, we got a lot of opportunity. I don't know if it's going to end up whatever our record is. I don't really think about that. I just think about how good can these guys be. And it's a lot. It makes me enjoy doing it because I know that I'm not just working at the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, you lost 1 game in conference by 3 points. You lost another one by 2. Lost another one by 4. So you went 2-8. So easily could have been 500.
Yeah, I mean, that was all inexperience. Look, I had Daniel Rice come out, and he never would play, and he finally played his senior year. And you hodgepodge. You cannot hodgepodge a group together with no experience and no working together. Like, you can't throw 10 guys together and say, hey, go win varsity basketball games. It just don't work
Right.
like that. I don't care who you are.
We should note that you've lost your top scorer and top rebounder and top shot blocker in Jaden Watson. And also with Miles not playing, that's a couple of players that are really athletic that you're not going to have
Just
this year.
means more opportunities for someone else, right?
That's right. Again, it's I'm not again losing last year. Jaden was one. I had him as a sophomore. He came up through trials of Shamel, and then they left him, and he was the last man on the deck standing from that group that won 5 in a row. And that's a product right there. He was our leading blocker, leading rebounder, leading scorer.
Yeah.
And we lose that, and we lose, Miles not playing. We lose that athlete. But, again, we won 4 games.
Right.
So it's not like we lost Charles and Shamel or Benny and Kyron or,
Right.
a better comparison would be, the year we came back from COVID, we had Benny and them, and the one we lost was Caleb, who was, I think, our second leading scorer. And somebody picked up his slack, and we rolled on from there. We had Perry. We lost Perry when he graduated from
Right.
2020.
That's what happens in high school. They graduate, right?
Yeah, he graduated. So,
Hopefully.
that's different than last year where we won 4 games and somebody has to be the top scorer,
Right.
top rebounder. It's, in second and all that stuff. But when you're not very talented, it's not hard to be in that.
What do we think the conference looks like? We got Lejeune, who lost 3 of their top 4 scorers. Northside lost 3 of their top 5 scorers. Pamlico lost 3 of their top 5 scorers. Southside lost their top 2 scorers.
I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
Again, for us, we're young. We have, and the experience we have is just 1 year under their belt. All them seniors, except for Eli, has 1 year under their belt. Chase is a sophomore with 1 year under his belt. So it's going to come down to, can we learn to play together? Can we get it done in those tight games? I think it's going to be a lot of shootouts because you're going to have pretty much the same. I don't know how good the young guys coming in for Northside and Pamlico and Southside are. So I think it's going to come down to who can withstand and carry it out and who wants it more. That's what it's going to be this year, who wants it more in the conference. And I would think Southside should be athletic. They were super athletic. Their JV program was pretty good last year. I don't know much about the other ones except we shouldn't be at the bottom of the barrel this year. And who knows? Lejeune gets a lot of transfers in. You never know. And that county's always, a kid plays at Lejeune 1 year and he's at White Oak the next, and then the next year he's at Southwest Onslow. So you never know until you play them. All we got to do is just focus on what we can do and get better, and we'll go from there.
We look forward to seeing an improved Mariners ball club out there this year. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.